with money, Ms. Boscola?
Well, like I said, I would like to see any mandate, if we're going to place it on any entity, that the state should then, if they're going to mandate, put the dollars toward that mandate. And that might be a good thing, because a lot of times the state mandates don't put the dollars behind it, so maybe they won't be mandating as much. Good thing. But you asked about the Constitution Amendment. I am very careful when it comes to our Constitution. You'll rarely see me, when it comes to policy, support constitutional amendments as a way to just solve every problem. We'll have a constitutional amendment on this. Our Constitution is dear to me and should be protected. And so this could be done by policy. It doesn't have to be in our Constitution.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Connolly.
Well, constitutional amendments are a pretty big step. It's funny, when you get your budget, these points kind of don't seem to have as much weight anymore. Because what people try to do is they try to mandate things to happen, and they try to say, well, this is now the law. But if you don't fund it, then what's the point? We're in that problem right now. Many states in the union are in that problem. So I have to admit my ignorance here. I don't know the exact process involved. I'm sure I'll learn when I get to Harrisburg. But until that, I'll defer to the senator's wisdom on this. I don't know exactly to be able to speak intelligently about it. So I'll accept her answer.
Okay, thank you. I'll ask one more question, and then we'll have a closing statements from each candidate. Another very big budget item coming down the pike is health care. We talked a little bit about that, but particularly the Medicaid program, and that's affecting all of the states. And much of the cost of the Medicaid program is driven by costs for senior citizens that are covered by Medicaid. We are a state with a high proportion of senior citizens. The new federal health care legislation provides for an expansion of the Medicaid program, which will include some additional federal funding, at least up to 2014. After that, I think it's some more questions. So what would be your proposals for dealing with the ballooning health care costs we face, particularly in taking care of our senior citizens? Mr. Connolly.
Well, senior citizens are one of our, in some ways, most treasured assets. They've been here. They are the living history of our state. I believe we go back and forth between a certain county in Pennsylvania and Miami for the oldest average population. The problem is they pay their dues. We owe them what we owe them. The other problem with the federal health care law is that it is full of unfunded mandates, and I personally believe it is there to try to bring everyone into a government system, which is going to be very unfortunate because we can't afford it. It goes back to tort reform, to health care. I believe that if we had a system where we had doctors, and if we were to give them a break on their tuition in return for them to spend a certain number of years working in a hospital for seniors, for Medicaid, to handle those patients, I think that would be a very good value for them, and it would be a very good value for us. I think part of the thing that would make it very attractive would be that we would also make that a liability-free zone for them, so they can give these seniors the care they need without worrying about being sued, and it will just eliminate a lot of the costs from the system.
Thank you. Ms. Boscola.
Yeah, our seniors need our Medicaid system and Medicare system. And look, when this federal health care bill came down the pike, there were some really good, solid reforms in there. As far as, people with pre-existing conditions should never be denied. When a child is going to high school, college, and they need to be on their parents' plan for a while, I think that's fair. What was failed in that federal plan was the fact that there were no accountability at the insurance department level and the pharmaceutical industry. Unless you start, you can add more people into a system, you can cover more people, and I think that that's a good, solid goal that we should all be proud of. That we want to make sure that a lot of our people, most of the people in our Commonwealth and country are covered by some kind of insurance. That's a good goal. You're not going to do it unless you reduce the cost. Reduce the cost of medication. We can't seem to go after pharmaceutical companies. The minute they say, if you go after us, if you make us pay more, then you're going to opt into our research and development. And I look at them and go, every single commercial is a purple pill or blue pill. You can drive down the cost by not advertising as much. And for the insurance companies out there that are making gobs of money, you ever see their CEOs and what they're making? We have to go after the insurance companies. That's how you drive down the cost, and that's how we can cover more people.
Thank you. Now we have time for the candidates' closing statements. I think this